Hello, everyone, and welcome to Harv's World for the next episode of Off the Grid. So, I have gotten a lot of work done around here. A whole bunch of work done. You can see I've gotten my fields all prepped and ready for planting. Just getting them all sorted out. I knew I needed to get wheat in here because I want to get some chickens back in. I do need to work toward getting the cattle back in. I just need to get this place back to its former state. That's going to be a little bit of it, but there's more than that, really. I realized that the only real money I was making back in the day was via the sawmill. Chuck and Hugo kept me going financially and allowed me to do a lot of the things I wanted to do. Not only that, there's also the issue of, when I needed lumber to build whatever I needed to build, that kind of thing, those guys would process it for me, turn it into lumber, and they process my timber, turn it into lumber, and then I could get from them whatever I needed to build what I needed to build. Well, that's not so much an option anymore, and it was a relatively cheap option. So I've been tossing around an idea. And I put in a call to Chuck, and I'm actually waiting to hear back from him this morning. I hope I hear back from him this morning. Oh, well, perfect timing. Look at that. Hang on just a second. Chuck, buddy, how are you doing, man? How are things going? Oh, happy to hear it. You don't like their scrambled eggs? Well, maybe they'll cook them a different way for you, or you can try oatmeal or something. I don't know, pal. I'm sure they can get you sorted out. Hey, I called because I have a question. A lot of questions, actually. We've touched on this just a little bit in the past. And I'm back up here in Willamina. I'm sure you know the story at this time and at this point. And anyway, what I'm thinking about, since you know what happened with Hugo, right? Yeah, I know you're upset. I understand, with good reason. You put a lot of work into that. Anyway, I'm sorry all that had to take place. Obviously it wasn't my doing, but what I really want to know is, what did it take for you to get started? Right. Yeah. When you first were up here looking to make your way, what did it take? What did it take for you to get that sawmill up and running? That's what I want to know. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. So you're thinking the biggest issue right now is starting capital, huh? Yeah, I mean, I figured I'd have to have some people bring in the equipment, install it, stuff like that, but right. I don't know. I think I can make this happen. It's, I need a way to make earnest money up here, and the sawmill was really the way I was doing that, and I figure at this point, without the sawmill, I mean, I can ship my timber out, but that costs money for either my time to drive it up or to pay somebody. It's costing money in diesel. I'm not going to make the money off the timber that I used to, and I've got some plans that are going to require some investment anyway. So, well, I don't want to make any promises I can't keep, but I am going to try. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you getting back to me. I hope they're treating you well. Watch out for the scrambled eggs. Right, absolutely. Okay, check. Well, I got work to get done, so I better let you go for now, but we'll talk soon. I'll come up for a visit real soon. All right, man. Take care. Bye. Yes, that's right. That's what I needed to talk to Chuck about. If there's no sawmill in Willamina, well, that means there is a void that needs to be filled. And I think I'm just the man to do it. I think I'm the one who's going to fill that void. Now, it's going to take some time. I mean, if we thought the setting up the farm market, which I am going to get back to, but again, like I said, I can't get the lumber that I need. Not easily, anyway, and it would be very expensive to have it shipped all the way up or down here. You know, I need to get some things set up around here, but I don't have the materials, and I have a very limited supply of cash. So, what else am I going to do? I need to make the money, and the only way to do that is get a sawmill running again. That will provide me with the materials that I need to build up what I need to build up. So, aside from getting the animals back up here, which at least I can get Raster back in, I probably won't get a horse pen rebuilt for him for quite some time because, you know, for the reasons I just stated. So I think that's going to be a major goal at this point. I'll get Raster back. That'll be my main focus. I'll have to do what I have to do to suffice for right now. And then get that sawmill up and running. Then I will have a way to process what I need to process to build what I want to build. Abso-floggin-lutely. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, the plan hasn't come together necessarily. I will need to, let's see, to make this happen, you know, the first thing I'm going to have to do is clear some land. I don't want a sawmill very close to the homestead here, and I'll tell you exactly why. Have you ever been next to a sawmill when it's operating? They are loud, very, very loud. And sawmills tend to run pretty much 24/7. And if I ever want to sleep again, and believe me, I want to sleep again, I'm not going to put the sawmill close. I think I've got an idea as to where it would go. Like I said, that's going to mean clearing some land. That means, well, I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of timber stacked up. So I'm going to need a place to store that. But first things first. First on the agenda. And, you know, then when it comes to building the sawmill, maybe I'll have to talk to my banker and find out exactly what my options are. Why does it do that? There. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Alright. You can see I did get everything cleaned up. It's all in good working order now. Everything's been repaired. It's in good shape. Yeah, Raster, I really wanted to build a nicer pen for you, buddy, but you weren't unhappy there. That's more me than you. So, where do I stand for the morning? Well, I just got wheat planted. That's to get the chickens back in, which will be a very good thing. Chickens aren't expensive. And I can get them from Hugo. And we haven't talked about Hugo much. We'll cover him in just a little bit. I'm not too concerned at the moment because, frankly, he's still kind of being a nuisance. So, and it's, I guess I got close enough to the seed pallet that it just really wants me to refill it. So, okay, fine, you'll be refilled. Put the cover back on. Thank you. Next on the agenda for the farm, I need to make hay. Let's get you out of the way, little Ursus. Sorry, little Ursus. I know, since I got the International, you've kind of been put by the wayside. You don't get as much use as you used to. We'll find a job for you. Okay. Well, you can see everything's tucked in here nice and neat, which is very, very handy. I like to be organized. But it's time to bust out the hay bine. Like I said, I've got this grass field up here that I planted, well, long ago. Grass doesn't go away. I mean, it's pretty much here for the duration. So, it's time to make hay while the sun still shines. And I can think about my plan, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to sort this out for Chuck, or I can think about my plan. I can I've got too many ideas running around in my head now. Harv, focus, buddy, focus. And it seems like I go from this, you know, although in Shellington I didn't really know that this was part of the issue, but I go from, you know, one problem-solving thing to the next problem-solving thing. But still, I mean, I've got my side of the lake. The forest is basically a cash cow. You know, I think I've said it in the past that these trees represent a lot of cash, and I need to bring that in to make my goals come to fruition, if you will. I do have some options as far as the cash part of this goes, simply because I do own a lot of land, and what that means is that provides me with a lot of collateral, so I can support that loan with no problem. The bank shouldn't balk at giving me one. We'll see. We'll see how it all sorts itself out. But for now, I'm going to mow some grass. Not perfect, but I think that'll do. That looks like it's going to be enough hay to feed Raster for time immemorable. Actually, you know, I could probably sell some to Hugo. That could bring in just a little bit of money, I think. We'll see. I don't know if he wants my business anymore. He's well, here's the story on Hugo. So, I said earlier that he has done better for himself than he was with the sawmill. He's much happier in general now, even though he's still upset with me. If you'll recall, back in the day when I was back here before, he had me come in and clear out an area for him where some of his old family buildings were. And I'm not going to bale this, I'm just going to loose, but I got to turn it into hay first. So if you recall, he had me come in, he had me clear that spot where the old buildings were sitting on his family's land. And he has since been building that up. Now, how he went about that, I don't know. I honestly think he just found what he really wanted to do and started doing it. And so he's got quite the little animal operation over there. I think he enjoys the animals. That's what I wanted. I want to run this backwards so that this hay pushes toward the middle. And you'll recall, he was buying bales from me. And so that's how he got started up. And after the sawmill failed, I think in order to work past that, he just really put himself into building up the old family business back in there again. Or the old family area, I should say. It wasn't a business. And now he's got quite the little operation, you know. You can't see it from here, but we do have quite a few farming communities in the local area. I mean, nothing significant, you know, a house here, a house there with some good-sized fields and some cattle operations, pigs, chickens, whatever. And Hugo's just kind of found his niche in that community. You know, the one thing that Hugo didn't have that Chuck had were the connections that he had built up. And that's something I'm going to have to work on, is building up those connections to make sure that I've got people who always want the timber I'm cutting, the lumber that I can ship out. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. So Hugo has a nice little animal operation set up over there. That's his thing now. That's what he's doing. And he's doing a nice job of it, from what I could tell. That's why I'm not terribly concerned with getting Raster back from him, because Raster is actually being very well cared for at the moment, which is a very, very good thing. So that's where that stands for the time being. So I could end up selling some of this hay to Hugo. You know, what he'll consider price-wise, I don't know, but we'll see. It won't be much. You know, hay is pretty cheap in general, but we'll see how that sorts itself out. Hey, hey, hey! Quite literally, holy crap, look at all that. I mean, I knew that was going to be a good-sized field, but whew, that's a lot of hay. A whole lot of hay. I'm going to leave it to dry. I mean, it's early in the morning yet. I'm just going to leave it out there for now. I will collect it later. It could stand a little more drying time anyway, right? Right. But I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited about the prospect of working toward this plan of mine that I was discussing with Chuck this morning. And I want to get... I don't want to waste time. I can't afford to waste time. I mean, I have limited funds here and a lot that I want to get accomplished. So why fool around? Let's just get jiggy with it. That's going to mean pulling some junk out of here, maybe. Let's see. And the Chevy's definitely in the way. pull this out for now. Now, what I was talking to Chuck about, you know, having to ship my timber to get paid for it, that could be a little bit of a challenge. I can't quite get in. There we go. You, sir, are going to get a workout here very soon. So for now, I'm just going to park you up right about here. That's going to be a time-consuming and expensive process because I've only got the one trailer, so it's not like... Oh, there we go. This is what I wanted. It's going to be a time-consuming and expensive process, and diesel fuel, just time in general, you know, it's going to take several hours round trip. I don't know. We'll see. And then I've got to pay somebody to drive it up there or drive it myself. Now, you know, normally that might not be such a big deal. Let's get a feel for this thing again. But I do have an idea of where I want to go with this. And it should start just down the road here, not too much farther. In fact, I can already see it from here. So right here is a trailhead that runs back into the forest. I'm going to build a road leading back. And I'm not talking a little ways back. I'm talking pretty far back. I want the sawmill well off the beaten path. I've got my reasons. I always have my reasons. So, yeah. Been a long time since I used this old bad boy. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. It's going to be enough room to stack wood, you think? Probably for starters. No, I forgot about those trees. They were just the proper length. Totally forgot about that. Let's get this one out of the way on the left. Nice thing about this is, at least the cutoff here is close to home. So I won't have to go too far to at least get started when I get this thing working. Oh, come on. Why do you want to be stubborn? And if you recall, I've got all the equipment I need to make this operation function, at least out of the gate. So that's going to be a boon, a major boon to getting this up and running. Now I know what Chuck said, you know, his big goal was capital, and that makes complete sense because there's nothing small about the equipment that a sawmill runs. So it's going to be spendy to bring all of that in. But hey, we've done it before, right? Many times before. Many, many, many times before. But more importantly, I mean, not only is that going to bring some industry back to this area, it's going to allow me to have the stuff that I need to build up what I want to build up. And I don't know about you, but for me that's a pretty big priority. Building blocks. This is the first building block in getting things up and running again. Now when I first came up here, and I still hold to this to some degree, maybe not quite as much as I did before. Maybe Chellington was a bad influence, building up a successful business there. You know, I came up here just to live off the land, to do my thing, and that's, I mean, that really is still a big interest, a big goal. But I've discovered the joys of owning a successful and thriving business. It is a very good feeling to have a business of your own that's successful. You got good people working for you, getting to know them, those friendships. You know, that's one of the first things that really kept me going when I came up here in the first place was, you know, meeting Chuck and Hugo, getting things going here, and Chuck was so helpful. And I used to say, and I said frequently, you know, if there's anything in the world that you can be to somebody, be a Chuck. And I often said, I'd love to be a Chuck. Well, maybe that's the direction I'm headed now. Maybe I'm just going to be a Chuck. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Off the Grid. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. I very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.